Hello everyone, welcome to Mean Life Studies. In this video, we are going to discuss one more problem as part of Python data engineering interview question series. That is question number 2. What is a package in Python? And explain it by writing code. So in the previous video, we have seen what is a module in Python and we have written some code to explain what is a module and how we can create a module, right? So now let's see how we can create a package and how we can use it in Jupyter Notebook. You can see here now we are going to discuss what is a package first, and then we are going to see how we can create packages. First, before that, you need to understand what is a module. So in the last video we have seen what is a module. Module is nothing but just like a simple Python file that consists of different definitions of like variable will be defined, functions will be defined, and even classes will be defined, and then we are going to access all of them in another modules. It could be any other Python file, right? So that is how we have created in the last video module, that is user defined module. So there are built-in modules also there. So when you install, when you downloaded or install your Python interpreter, by default it provides different built-in modules so that we can access all of them. Whatever we have. For example, if you consider data time, you can see now here I'm going to import math, import random. So these all are built-in modules, so we can access. Let's see here, if I use directory of math, if you observe, so all these variables, functions, all will be defined in this particular module, that is math module. So by default will be, when you install Python interpreter, there are different inbuilt modules will be there. Okay, so we can also access all of them. But now in the previous, in the previous video we have seen user defined module. So there we created our own modules, right? And then we can use them in another modules, right? So that is user defined module. Similarly, in case of packages also, package is nothing but it's just like as creation, organizing similar kind of modules in a particular directory, right? So we are placing all similar kind of modules in a particular directory or folder, and we will be calling that folder as package. Okay, so in before 3.3 version of Python, there will be each and every package should have init constructor, right? But after 3.3 version, there is no need to have init constructor in that particular folder, right? So now let's see what is similarly here also. Packages are inbuilt packages will be there by default. When you install Python interpreter, there are a lot of packages will be there like pandas, numpy, scikit-learn, matplotlib, many more. But now we are going to create user defined packages so that we can access all modules in each and every packages, and in each and every module there are different definitions, like I told you, variables, functions, or even classes will be there, so we can access them in another module. Okay, let's see how we can create package, that is user defined package. Okay, so first you need to understand what is a package. Package is nothing but a file like folder that consists of, we are going to organizing a similar kind of modules in a particular folder, and that folder will be calling as package, right? So now if you check my Jupyter home directory, if you observe, there is no folder. So I'm just currently using this notebook, that is ipynb notebook, right? So now what we have to do, first you need to create a folder. So how we can create a folder? There are different ways. So now if you just go to this home directory, now click on new, there is a folder button, is there, right? So click on it. Now you can see, so this will be created. Even if you want to change this name, you can just rename this one. Now you can see, you can rename this to Mahindra. So now you can see here, so we created a folder in Jupyter, this home directory, right? So now we can also create folders in different ways. So this is one way, like using user interface. So next one, you can also use shell. Like if you are working on shell, like you can directly use mkdir, whatever the folder name that you want to create, you can create it. But this is Jupyter Notebook interface, right? So this is ipynb notebook. So now if you are working here, you have to ensure that you have write exclamatory symbol. So by writing exclamatory symbol or magic command, you are ensuring that you are working on shell, right? So now if I create like this, now you can see here, so one more folder is created, that is Mahi created, right? So similarly, you can also use import command like import os module is there, and we are accessing them now. So with the help of os, we are creating make directories. So whatever the name you want to create, you can mention folder name. So like this. So I'm just creating one more name, Sam. Okay. Now you can see here. So we created one more folder, that is Sam, right? So what is a package? Package is nothing but organizing similar kind of modules in a particular directory, and then we are going to access them, right? So now if you observe, there are three different folders are there. So now we are going to use only any file, any folder. So in that folder, there is nothing is there, right? So now I'm going to create user defined modules in this folder. Okay. So now, so how we can create a modules? So module is nothing but just like a simple Python file, right? So with the help of magic command like percentage symbols, write file a.py. So this is how we are creating, right, modules. So you can define whatever you want in this file, right? So now if you go and check here, so this is a module we created, that is simple Python file. So this entire is ipynb notebook format. This is .py. This is entire ipynb. But here this alone is different. Now you can see here, this is different, this is different. We are currently using this one, and we created one more Python file. This is normal file. So in the entire home directory we are creating. Now we are going to create the same file inside the folder. Okay, let's see here how we can do that. Same thing here, use magic command, write file, but we are rather writing direct, we are going to use the folder. So a.py, in that we are going to define different, you can see here, b equal to something, and you can also define f of x equal to something, right? Then whatever you want you can define. You can see here we created a module inside this folder, that is Mahindra folder. Now you can see here, so this is different, this is outside of this folders, right? So now if I enter into Mahindra, now you can see here, so we have created a module inside this folder, that is a.py. You can see now here we created a file inside the folder Mahindra, right? So now if you observe, we are creating a like file, that is Python file inside the module, same, sorry, inside the folder. So same thing we are going to create one more, that is write file Mahindra, this time b.py. Okay, I'm going to define different variables. Whatever the variables you want to define, you can mention all of them, no problem. You can see here we created one more module, that is b.py, in the same folder, right? So this is Mahindra folder. In Mahindra folder we have two modules, right? So now what is a package? Package is just organizing similar kind of modules in a particular directory. In case of built-in packages, we'll be having similar kind of modules inside that particular package. Okay, so that we can access all inside the, like inside each and every modules, variables, functions, and even classes, right? So now if you observe, we just created two modules and we placed them in a particular folder, that is Mahindra. Now this Mahindra folder will start working as package. So before 3.3 version, there is one more file, that is init, like constructor, we can call it as constructor. Let's see here, you can create that, write file like here init.py. So we are going to create this inside this folder, right? You have to give like this. Now whatever you want to define, so it could be empty or it could be any definitions also, no problem. You can define anything inside it. Okay, so now you can see here we created, so we created init. This is a special method or init constructor. This is a file. So we are ensuring that this folder is a package. So this is mandatory before 3.3 version of Python, but after later onwards you need not to have. This is not mandatory after onwards. Okay, so now let's see here. So we just defined, I mean we just created different modules in a particular folder, and we are calling that folder as package, right? So let's see here how we can access these things. So now we defined A, B, C, D, right? So we are coming outside of this one. This is entire ipynb notebook, right? So this is different, this is different, right? So now we are trying to access A, you'll be getting error. You can see B, A is not defined, B also not defined, C also not defined, D also not defined, because of these are defined inside these particular modules, and we are keeping that module inside a particular package, that is Mahindra folder, right? So now let's see here. So if you try to import directly A, you can see we created a full, okay, sorry, here we created already, right, A. So that's why we can able to import this. Now I deleted that one. Now you can see here, if I executed this one, still able to access it, right? So let's see here, because of we created that, right? So now if I try to import B, because of we didn't create B before, right? So we created B inside only Mahindra folder only. right? So that's why we could not do that. So similarly, if I didn't do A also, we cannot access it, right? So now again, if I try to import A, you can see here it's able to, I mean it is able to, because of, let's see, if I go and refresh it again, okay, if I do that again, it's going to create another folders and all, right? So I'm not doing that. Okay, I hope you understood. So now I'm just ignoring this one, right? So now try to access from, so if you try to import directly B, we cannot do that, right? So let's, how we can do that now? So you have to import first package, that is Mahindra package, and then you can also import after package install, right? So let's see here. So already we created a package, that is Mahindra. So you have to import package, that is package name. You can see here we imported Mahindra, that is a package, and then from Mahindra, let's see here, let's try to do that now. Import B, you'll be getting error only because of you just imported package, you have not imported this one, right? So how we can do that? So from package you have to import B. So because of import this B file, that is B module, is not outside of this folder, right? It is there inside of this folder only, right? So you have to refer that package from Mahindra. First you imported package, and from Mahindra you have to import B. So whatever the modules you created inside that package, you have to do that. Now you can see we imported, right? So let's try to access whatever we define. Okay, I'm just deleting all this. Now you can see here, so whatever we define inside B module, C defined, D defined, F and G functions are defined, right? So let's access them. C, you can see here error, D error. Okay, I'm just calling F of something, error, G of something, error, because of even though you're importing B, you're not ensuring that this C is from B, right? So how we can access then? You have to use B dot. So module name dot, whatever the variable you define, you have to call like this. You can see here. So here also B dot D. You can see here. You're getting it, right? So B dot F of it. So in this module, this function is calling, right? So now B dot G of it. So this is how first you have to import the package, and then you can, I mean you have to import the module, and after that you have to refer like this. Otherwise you have to import like this from package name dot whatever the module you want to access, like B, you have to import whatever the variables you define, like C, D, F and G. Now you can see here from package dot module, you're going to importing whatever you defined inside that particular module. So let's see here, if I call C, it's going to return value, D it's going to return value, F it's going to return value, G it's going to return value, right? So this is how from the package we are importing a module, and then we can also access whatever we defined inside the particular module, right? So this is what we are doing in IPYNY, I mean the same Jupyter notebook, but outside of these files, right? So this module is different, this is different, and these modules we created inside a particular folder, and we are calling that folder as package, right? So even if you want to create another file, like let's see here, I'm just creating one more file, that is another module outside of that particular package. Okay, write file c.py outside of this one. I'm just defining ha equal to something, ah equal to something, and we are defining something. Okay, so we created one more module, that is c.py outside of this file, like outside of that folder, that is package, right? So now if you want to, like if you want to access all, like packages, in packages we have different modules. So if you want to access the data, like you define variables and all from those modules, first you have to import. Let's see here, if I try to access C, that's going to, this is creating, but when you're when you're executing this file, that's going to return errors. You can see here C is not defined, because of C is defined in the B module, and that is stays in package Mahindra, right? So let's see here, so even if you try to call b.c, you can see here, because of there is no connection between this and this one, right? So first this is different file, this different module, so you have to import first package, and then from package you have to import module. Now you can see b.c will be there. So now if I try to print it, print of b.c, now you can see when I executed this one, this will be printed, that is C values from B module, and we already imported this package, and then from that package we are importing B module, and from B module we are accessing. So similarly, so even if you try to outside, it won't work, so you have to do it here also. Okay, print of b.d, Now you can see it will be printing two values, D value and C value. Similarly, you can access all data whatever you define inside the module of B, and that stays in a package. So first you have to import the package and then you have to import the module. And even if you want to import, you can import from module dot package dot module, and then you can you can import all whatever you define. Okay, so this is how we can access the data that we create inside a module that stays in a package. Okay, so there are, mostly we'll be using predefined like inbuilt packages. In that packages we are going to access whatever we define, or else by default is inbuilt na. So all predefined variables, predefined functions we are going to access. Like you can see here, we can access import pandas. You can see here, so pandas as, okay, I'm just calling as pt. So now if you observe, this pandas is a library. Library is nothing but like, library is a set of, combinations of packages and modules, right? So in that library we'll be having different packages, different modules. Okay, so now from this one, let's see here directory of pandas. So if you observe, these all functions, variables, many more classes will be there, so that we can access all of them, right? I hope you understood. So there are different predefined like inbuilt modules are there, inbuilt packages are there. In packages we'll be having different modules, and library is the combination of packages and modules. Okay, I hope you understood. If you have any doubt, please comment. Thank you.